Hello, and welcome to another episode of Straight Guy K-Drama Reviews, the show where I watch a K-drama and then review it from a straight guy's perspective. This week, I'm going to talk about the cult favorite, weightlifting fairy Kim Bok Joo. I know that sounds like a weird title to suggest to straight guys, but I've got my notes here. Stay with me, and I'm going to make my case. So I want to start with the plot. So, this is a workplace drama, and the entire series features the lives of student athletes from Hanyul Sports University as they try to improve their scores and make the national team. So, one of the reasons why I love this show is the plot because yes, there's a main love story and it's really cute. I'll talk about that later on. But the series does an excellent job of showing the trials and challenges that student athletes must face. And we're not just talking about the physical exhaustion that they battle, but we're talking about mental hurdles that they must battle, plus the emotional burden of having to be perfect all the time, having to be judged all the time. And also that mental burden because as an athlete, you're not just performing for yourself, but also for the family that has spent money for your tuition, for your school that relies on you to perform, and then later on the country that relies on you to perform. Okay, number two, there's a controversy, right? So even before this show was shot, like in pre-production, they already encountered a lot of controversy, and I thought it was unwarranted. So in the beginning, for pre-production, they had a bad description of the show, right? They described the show as a female weightlifter uh, falls in love with a doctor in a weight loss clinic. So that drew a lot of criticism because people thought that this is going to be one of those shows wherein somebody big has to lose weight to fall in love, right? And so people started hating on the show even before they started shooting it, which is totally unfair because if you watch the show, they actually um, made it clear that, well, number one, the weight issue is actually about sports, right? Because you have to make certain weight classes for weightlifting, for gymnastics, right? So it wasn't anything to do with looking good for the person that you love. And the other thing that the show makes really clear actually is that you can only fall in love once you begin to love yourself, right? And in this entire series, the main love story is actually between two people who never even cared about how the other looked like. Like it was secondary. So the show does a really great job actually of talking about loving without any body image issues. All right, production value number three. There's nothing great technology wise on this show. I mean, I think it actually had a pretty low budget, but it had excellent casting, which I'm gonna talk about later on. And also, I love all the love stories. Like they're all really sweet, very innocent. Um, it reminds you of all those times when you were young and in love. The main love story between Kim Bok Joo, who is the a super talented female weightlifter, and the Nam Joo Hyuk, who plays Jung Jun Hyun, who's actually a talented swimmer himself. So that love story was super cute, super endearing, and also all of the main characters were so multi-layered, very well fleshed out. I thought writing for this show was really really great. All right, number four. Let's talk about that amazing cast. So Lee Sung Kyung plays Kim Bok Joo, the title character. So she received a lot of flack for being cast in this show because she's tall and she's very thin, and which is opposite of what weightlifters are. But to her credit, she actually gained 5 kilos to do this role, um, and and the one thing that amazed me here is that she became Kim Bok Joo. Like if you've seen Lee Sung Kyung before, like in She's in the Trap or The Doctors, like she's always this beautiful, statuesque, model-like figure. And here they deglamorized her. She was able to move like a spazzy, awkward, tomboyish um, weightlifter, and she was really, really funny, very lovable. Like she really pulled it off. I think this is Lee Sung Kyung's best role to date. Hopefully, she can do more lead roles. Okay, number five, I want to talk about Namju Hyuk. So he plays the swimmer Jung Jun Hyun, and he was very believable in this role. Well, partially because he was a swimmer in school, so he plays a swimmer here. So that athleticism part was really easy for him. But also he was able to portray that guy, the guy that knows he looks good, but he's also very playful, and he hides his feelings very well. And I particularly love the storyline where he battles mental problems, and that's why he can't win in tournaments because he always makes false starts. So I thought that was a very well thought out story. All right, number six, Kyung Soo Jin, who plays gymnast Song Shi Ho, who was the ex girlfriend of Jung Jun Hyun. So, and again, the writing is amazing. This is a multi-layered character. She's not just the third party trying to ruin the main love story. I mean, she appears as a third party in the beginning, but she has a very beautiful storyline to follow as well. Um, she was able to portray this really deep storyline of how a gymnast who who did not make the national team. She was like one of the last cuts of the national team, so she has to go back to university, and that sort of sets her on this self-destructive spiral. This is something that is very important to talk about, and I thought that Kyung Soo Jin was able to perform this really well and give justice to this very important storyline. All right, number seven, we have Lee Jae Yon. So he plays Jung Jae Yi, who is the older brother um, of Jung Jun Hyun, and he's also the weight loss doctor, right? That started all this controversy. So Lee Jae Yon finally plays a good guy. Like I've seen him in other K dramas, and he always plays the handsome bad guy. So I'm glad that he plays a good guy for a change. Um, and again, another multi-layered character because he's super nice guy. He's a doctor, he's kind, he loves his brother, he's a dutiful son. So on the surface it's all perfect, but he gets called out by his brother and his best friend, um, because sometimes you have to think of others too. You have to be mindful of their feelings, right? Even if you're doing the nice thing, you could end up hurting others. Again, another very interesting storyline. All right, number eight, food and fun. So, they make a big deal of how weightlifters have to keep up their weight, so they eat a lot on this show. So there's a ton of meat involved. It's like a meat buffet, right? And I love the BFN strategy. So, the weightlifting girls were talking about how they have a strategy when they eat Korean barbecue. So it's called BFN. So first you eat barbecued meat, which is first the unseasoned barbecue meat, and then later on the flavored barbecue meat. And then afterwards, the F is you order fried rice, which you cook on the grill, where you cook so all the pork fat is there, right? Like delicious. And then afterwards, you finish with the N, which is cold noodles, right? So that they're fully filled up. So I love the BFN strategy. Um, and then for the fun part, there's actually a nod to an actual weightlifter named Yoon Jin Hee. So in one of the later parts, one of the last episodes, there's a weightlifting belt with an autograph by Yoon Jin Hee, who's actually a real two-time Olympic medalist for Korea. All right, number nine, verdict. So this may be an odd choice for straight guys in the beginning, but when you realize that this show, apart from that super cute, and I mean super cute love story, I mean these two were actually um, real life boyfriend girlfriend for a while. The banter is real, the love was real on screen. So the love story is super cute. Like even straight guys will find it cute. Uh, And but the other thing that straight guys will love here, because I loved it, is that this really is a sports show. Like there are so many scenes of weightlifting, of swimming, of gymnastics. So you're actually they're actually investing a lot of time in showing you that these athletes are training for their sport. So it's almost like a long sports movie. Number 10, ratings. So for straight guys, I think most of them will give it an 8 out of 10 Korean hearts, because again, the sports aspect is really good. Um, and the love story is pretty cute. It's not overly melodramatic, so the guys will love it, but they might have issues with all the cutesy stuff that happens in between. um, but for me personally, I want to give this a 10 out of 10. I think that this is one of those shows that did exactly what it needed to do, and that's why I give it a 10. Like it's not Shakespeare, right? It's not art, but it does what it's supposed to do, which is number one, give you feels, give you joyful thoughts about love and about first love, but it also gives you all those deep, deep stories that athletes must go through every single day just to represent their country. And usually they don't get paid well for it too. All right, that's it. This is my review of Weightlifting Fairy Kim Bok Joo. If you guys agree or disagree with my points, please comment down below. And then also suggest the next K drama that you want me to review. And hopefully, I can review it very, very soon. Meanwhile, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and then you can watch my other videos right now.